No siabo Ghana this year, but munyana Juma Makwaba some JFA peace. 104.3 yana wasugu so wuti braso sense me coach babra man se mufo age braso so fiko no yare so mo se anwure no siaka se bo se me be se twan ho need 100.9 okay 101.7 yenyina na shepa o se nkran ya beka junction e na yeso mo wadi afiri okopie mu wa santemba ntemu a yenuanom hello Okramu na 101.5 social media platforms are hodo on so kaseboy aye deja wo so ko Facebook no so we peace 104.3 etwagu also live we nya bia hwe comment wo dia tumbre pom ya gibre na ya kenkan edi ama na nsem ye betodwa no se kaseboy mu bi enie
Ghana Mom Penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at the National Security Asudieno at the Ama Oswafo my Ghana Yefisem so. Saso and now Oswafo ya washer energy when some so dear to just say gas processing ye besi e watema again this year buying and a besi. Dam kuma ban Denny wa my Ghana Mra share be the fear dear to just say. Sisi ye guswa ye kase dear bushia near tea biada and this year buying washer bia was shared and ya dear wutimi edisho.
How do you appoint only 10% women into cabinets? Mr. Speaker, the president has failed this nation.
Dam kuma ban Denny wa my Ghana Mra share be the fear dear to just say was share nimusa was swafo ya was share padia when samso wa my Ghana mu e betimi be PM wo parliament sane be ye nipa ye wo modi no wo betimi ababe chirechire mu ene nwumre ye beto ye boa se na afei ye ne Professor John Gachi akwakodi enkomo twetwe nyina ne se ye chirechire mu de akire Ghana fo se sane asisi eguso a ye kase we pani kwankyerefo ya wabene e wosikasem na afei so ho ntotoye mu na emum ehihye ya do bi a Ghana for ye begina so na afi ye sikasam totoye etimi afa ne ntuma pa ade afra no e ho nkomotwetwe na na course awie ntia ye bebo bi ade amamum woyi eno esi nchen ya chairman edema parliamentary agri committee e wo my Ghana mra shebe de fiasre se enkokon ketenkete project ne die yen support ya ban
some of the operational difficulties that we see in our women and feed industry program. Then he mentioned Boko Kitty to wait people chicks there.
When is Amdo Nano and Ebetodja Ewonu Siaka Sibui eso. Kasebo Masada and confirma Oson's chemist. And a day Oson's garlic capsule Sabaja so empty and was ready for you everywhere you go. High Sense Ghana by electrical appliances papa dear Omajusu. And high sense Ghana Doffy roofing system se brei ya ma won chance na fa kuru down so bre pom no obi tuesika no e dia man pin for won pewi na de na opɛ budget cash and carry limited na the blue jeans energy drink aba Ghana dwa so bayan fin she duasa ne akire ne and the blue jeans energy drink budget cash and carry or the asum Ghana Raoul's pharmaceutical said the high lady virgin feminine wash and a high lady virgin mixture badwa so your ba sisi hu be sisi hu a ndo wanwaso a Raoul's pharmaceutical said the badwa so no and American for e the ama o Pepsodent cavity fighter ndrona sort na Pepsodent or the abadwa so ho no wanum na obonu ho ban otwetwe usi a na obohu se emuje basa udidi wi ade betina usi echinam na ahono ne keka ho pedu papa na fa twusin ubetwusin so dia ubisa akrohye yefunu mu krampo se edro ben de ditwi yesia na obeka ene Pepsodent weni nyuma ikododo na no ene kura yasa nyumre nyusi aka sebu enwanum yenu yasi nkonwa ye de eba besum wo mosomfo Sadat Mohamed ni yemene
Garganto lady ohene wa kase bo ahene Africa se bo de munche mu ankasa eni Ghana Mom Penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama dia to just say national security asodie kase no wade ama wosofo ya wo hwe sam so my Ghana mu yewra muntaka mubrak na yensem bia wode wani chem my Ghana mra hye be the speaker right honorable Alban Simana Kensford Babin wato ne bo ase akenkan na fe wade atodwa yentie ne nsam a wo kire ne bi Ebusia Yagusua Yabo Yahomoden Science Abet
Intelligence Act 2020 at 10:30 I convey to the House that I have assigned ministerial responsibility for national security to the Minister of the Interior, Honorable Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka. Accordingly, the minister will oversee matters relating to national security in addition to his existing responsibilities, ensuring seamless coordination between the Interior Ministry and National Security Agency. Please accept the assurances of my highest consideration. John Dramani Mahama.
Ewusia eni ayekotie wano eye chiame peni obutu wa my Ghana mra bedofie right speaker nankasa yera Alban Samana Kensford Babin and some way Manuel Colin Afe William Gentu na de besom yen
enkane ano eso na dum eso na edumu a Ghana de ye fre dum so na empempi no senye ECG for ena won homa ho atechema anase transformer bi ne jato mu an wataka ne sem from aja gas no asorto anase ho akwatwe enu nti na mpempi no tama dumso no yeta hu no my Ghana musa no na ne o mampanya te na ye ena olumnyanfo John Abdullah Ginapo ahone de soafo woni sentwafo kasana ne kasem no na wo kirem se woni mpenfo sinkonwa asa adwen na mpenfo agi atum se gas processing plant no wonsi na tosum bienu o my Ghana mu ntimi moa na from aja gas ne ho kwa atwe a yenya foforo a ebetimi abo yakidom na nkane ano etimagina so ma Ghana fo no wonya nkane gina so peme na odiedi onjuma.
The Atobo gas processing plant can generate about 100 mm scarf. ENI can generate about 235 mm scarf. And then Nigerian gas can move up to about 100. But because of increased demand, you still have a shortfall of about 100 mm scarf. And so it's not as if all these plants are not producing. They are producing, but because demand is increasing, it means that consumption or supply is also increasing. And as you bring on more supply and thermal complementation, you will require some additional gas. And that is why there is that shortfall. So clearly, there is the need to immediately construct a second gas processing plant because we have stranded gas. Gas is much more cheaper than liquid fuel. If you use liquid fuel, it will cost you 3 times as compared to gas. And gas is more efficient.
Na enu atire no na worumanyamfo John Abdullah Ginapo was idea piece say senior Ghana yesi yuso nyinam kane no ese yeni ensese e ka kire ene brano na ban wan bokakra no na enye $700 billion na so nyira mu no Ghana fo yeda yenda nhihye pagu apono so a ban bepesika na watimi abo oman no anyina mahodi fam na kane no atimi agina so saa.
The energy sector we inherited is riddled with poor infrastructure, huge unsustainable and mounting debt. At the last reconciliation before cabinet, the energy sector debt stands at over 80 billion cedis. ECG's receivables stand at only 8 billion. And so if ECG were to collect all their receivables, we'll still have a shortfall of more than 70 billion. But what is more worrying is that the debt keeps ballooning and increasing. The infrastructure, very, very poor. And what we used to call excess capacity now appears dwindled, and we have to start preparing to increase the capacity in order to meet the demand requirement. We require about $700 million worth of liquid fuel in order to fill the fuel deficit, because our gas today is inadequate to meet our fuel requirements.
Na nokrakra mu no na worumanyamfo John Abdullah Ginapo was idea piece to say abide hye papa agu apono so ene ohwe renewable energy investment fund say ogidie say bebo my Ghana bibre.
Cabinet has also agreed that we operationalize the renewable energy investment fund, which will seek to deploy a lot of renewable energy, solar rooftops, EV charging stations, chargeable outboard motors, and more importantly, the deployment of solar street lights, which would press or suppress the peak demand, thereby making huge savings so that we can continue to produce power. We also to implement a raft of measures to contain expenditure within the energy sector, both petroleum and power. Consequently, we will be directing all the agencies to halt all kinds of expenditures that are not critical. And even those that are critical, they will need to seek permission before they proceed.
Ormanyamfo John Abdullah Ginapo eya hone de soafo en wode ensam yutu dwa ne ewo mampanyini atena ye Salamatu Kuku Pentel ena odi amane boyi ebesomo yen
ya to akase boyi so ye de ni chemu o my Ghana mura she bedefie na dom kuma ba no dani Alexander Kwame na afenyo marken won wo kasa na sama wodi to dwan se wo hye ne mu ese ebetimi ato nsade frɛ wo to afo ya wo hye pade won sam so ewo o my Ghana mu Dr. Rashid Pelpo na afe ba wo ba no wo mu hia se Ghana adwuma efo ya NDC aba betena so aba ne hwade o se ene contract metwem tinton tan no nipa dodo ne ye pe hunu pa na wo se eya asem bi a se yenyina ye kɔbenkrom na afe so ya fa ne hia asem a ebeboa ye ma afe Ghana fo ye pem ade akoye ne mu a ye be hunu gina yesi a yesi ensem adom kuma ba no dani wade atodwa no ebini.
You direct the leader of government business to invite or to get the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations to come to this house to apprise us on the total number of those who have been affected, especially so when there are state-owned agencies that have also taken that step to terminate appointment. These state-owned agencies, Mr. Speaker, they generate their own revenue and they are very independent. They don't depend on government subventions. So it is important for the Minister for Labor to apprise this House on steps being taken to address certain excesses of the said directive. So, Mr. Speaker, I want that to be addressed as my first point.
Ania yekoti dom kuma ba no dani wo my Ghana mrashe bedefia Alexander Kwame na penyo marken nensam anono empanifo simiko manke bi yemfa kasem ntino majority leader wo my Ghana mrashe bedefie Mahama Yarga Kasaye ne dia wodi to dwanyina na se menua bema minority leader winning pass o my Ghana mrashe bedefie ya wo process ye de ye adwuma enti upese minister bi eba san hwehwe ne mesre se kwan bia so bedi so fefefe eno so say no wakano
Of the minister will come here and provide the answers. You can make a statement on any of the matters. I don't see how business committee will, based on your commentary that you have run, summon ministers to come and provide the information that you have requested. I think that we must avoid preferring to use media platforms to do our work when the rules are clear on how we should do the work.
Majority leader wo my Ghana mrashe bedefie Mahama Yarga nensam anono William Gentu Nafe Emmanuel Kwale na desansem we fi parliament a wode esomyen
na watwe mu na Ghana bampanyin kokopie mu ewo my Ghana mrashe bedefie o my ne Bobere State of the Nation address no kenkan ye my Ghana fo nyina no ehunu bie na mrashe bedefie gu so wodi ho abubu a na eno na dom kuma do ba no dani wo menyan for Alexander Fenyo Marken so wakasa de afa ho na wo kirem se bra na NDC bontoa no eni mfonyina wotwa de kire Ghana for na asese bi wiase nyina no mo de do ma eni ye ba be ba ma kwan ye be ma akonya ye be Women's Development Bank eni ye ma sei sa na Ghana for hwe so to aba de ma NDC amonyoku NDC ba ye position wo che manasa ma wonya kwan e wa ban chese na ban mu no endu ha mu chichemu aduasa na eno no odumanya for Alexander Fenyo Market de to Ghana for nyina nim se munhwe wu se hu abere wa atofo a susuma wani mbre na ebia na ye ntoma agonko a ye koridi abayira siresini mienu ye doma appointment awaye ma wonya kwanya bie no endu ha mutichemu aduasa ene wose Ghana for momo mani nda ho no popa na wose gina so ode to ndi samonyo koni mpenifo nim say ensem o ka kire Ghana for di to me free Ghana for ensem no won fanya adwuma se ne wo hye maabo so be ma konya no ma die no ma hwe ni mu e de friend isifo nchen.
He has announced his cabinet. This is a person who says he's doing research. What is he researching? When Haja Ayamba Ladi is here and has not been given an appointment, when Honorable Helen Ntosu is here and has not been given any appointment, when Honorable Poku Asoya is in this chamber, when the Okankwe North MP is here and has not been considered, because the law says you should do a minimum of 30%. You are doing 10%, creating the impression that you don't have the women. Meanwhile, the women are here in this chamber. How do you appoint only 10% women into cabinets? Mr. Speaker, the president has failed this nation.
Na eno akire no na Urumanya for Alexander Fenyo Markins was idea piece to say. Any aban bra na wo bonto ano o magana fo hu ni say. or na so di hu no or ne hye ya se Ghana for the bedwane hye ne nsa or di be ya dwuma na ne matumi adane ye afi aban yi ba ya ade na ye hu no yi meti committee ne meti committee tina committee sa e no Rumanya for Alexander Fejo market si chiri mu say o mampanyini enye committee na Ghana for be di o manifesto no ma Ghana for ti assess wo your experience person as the Ghana hye wo nsa o be ya dwuma no ti be ya dwuma no na ne ani ntimi dane na e committee ni de ensesa hwe
these about committee here, committee there, committee here. It is not for purposes of consultation. They are only doing this to disown their own initiatives because they are not sure of their initiatives. When Akufo-Addo came into office, the first thing he did was the free SHS. He implemented it without any delay. What are they waiting for? This their so-called 24-hour economy is being defined variously by many people. Some of their people have not even read it. They don't know. They say 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. What is 24-hour economy? Mr. Speaker, before the president came into this house, he was aware that his own party youth had besieged the party at
Dom Kumano Bano Dani Rumanya for Alexander Fejo market ne ena etwagu ye William Gentu ene Emmanuel Akole ene ode amane boy film asebejo fi edi ebedan ye
Emrase bedwani bia asase a wo kasa na sem wode to dwa nyina ne se wonim se amanfo guso a wo twa jajo na wo su se enti anya bia o my Ghana sika sam totoye na ekwa nanim anase etie twu Sikasam na be ye ni Ghana yemmo mpaya anase yenya board masse yenya multiplication by elimination na substitution ena sikasam betimi egina ye adiama yen na nipa wode sansem we gina da etodwa eyemrahye bedwani ye wogina hode ma adehia wo okan kwe South abato empesua so NS adomako asem wode todwa nyina ne se Ghana be ye sikasam totoye fapem nyina be gina ye sanse bra eguso ye kasem NDC aban ena teso Ghana man His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ento so obesom Ghana from Frisia 9 no ataju for wa Ghana for nyina beti den afi ye bedidi akisho akasa mpa wo man papa ni o man Ghana en yetimu wasisi aye kase enei ubu nkonta ne dia na chese NDC aba betena so wanya abosom poli mienu na wasisi ade wo hwe nim se ne yetie bia no yesika sam totoye betimi agina naso saa so na mebunu amuguso amusu ejuma ni kroma se wewie university pa na wo chwa nkrata Aquama company se wo pedwuma ye no wo mo kire osakobra wo bi de akra de otimi hwempa ya anointing oil labrosco to wa boegu so nya asem kuma so wonya adwuma de binye enso wa kire kirem se NDC aban ti so edie se ne sikasem epagent ne beboa ama mebu dodo na etimi enye adwuma ya fe eba no kua ye ho nsam so obetimi epagye mu pa wasra Ghana for se Ghana man His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne bohye bia wo hye Ghana for nyina tisi yankasa ye bo ne chidom yenti ensem MP wade atodwa
Obafa akonyan enene busumbi ni pepepe ye papa no yenye didi wonu we onye obi eba beso na hwe se de ye koso ye baba na na Akufo-Addo hwe ya dane nso hwe amayen yenim de dada yenim ne ama obetimi aye eni yenim de waye pen me de me one person me wo didi wonu mu na enkosi se ni mfi na no nso no ye behu ne mapa wahyehe ede ama Ghana ye sikasem agija mabunu munya adwuma nye o hwe de wi a State of the Nation address and Koko Nama Yakra or mention Sika Ekumu, Beso Equiafo Asene, na Omapejo Munuma, na Mabuno Musu Pekia Sono, Yadi Makaku Gudama, Winina, Trese, Yapapana Agency or Baba Bagana, na Winina, ye train Ama, Namia Duma, 11th of March, a year Benada, next week, Namia Duma, Budget Neba, Yibu say, Ajamka Budget, Abba.
Emrase bedwani NS adomako ne sam anono wase Ghana man pani ayade bia fedodo akra wonkuntun honom na wommo na baso ne nyina ne se enurada Ghana yenya afofida kese pa Independence Day dwumedie no kwa na wie no wote ya ne se man pani abuna ketem akwa akopiem wo framantam a adehye ya tidal waves no edi womo yaw pa na man pani akwa wane womo ekodi nkoma no so sei en wode tudwa wo bo na baso
ono twifa mom situation bi wan tran to so apa no wona tade go san fa tade fufuro hyeye etu no to kokko hweye strategy finance minister say on financial budget nim na yen register yen see defense no said the mom titi omo so betom da ye kan nyina boma we kire say ye papa Mahama wa ye na dwen say obosom Ghana na Ghana so afa no to afefra
Ania Yokotia Mrase Bedwania Wajina Wadema Deshia, or war or Kankwe South Abato and Persiaso, and Ness Adumakosan some way, William Gento Nafes, Emmanuel Colley, and what the Breye Efi Parliament.
Dr. Stephen Amua, Dodoana Frenestica. Opening the Sadisha won share so and then woman Sabbath if you won Dimu Eshamra. Now, State of the Nation address and I watch your chair Mogana Mampini. President John Dramani Mahama kodi Hong Kong and Brasibe Jefie Guso odi ho abubua na owura Sevenamu anso akere na adwen e dia fa ho na ka seme na wo tiem se wa bre o mampeni ken kan State of the Nation address no twamfo nyini bi e dia akere Ghana for se Ghana economy ni ba bi agina ne de amenabofo achi ene ya anya ready na se mfra majampantu bi krampo fo a ene oye na ebeto Ghana no enya asem ketwa ene Ghana economy no eye nipa na nke wo komamu na no na Dr. Sevenamu akirem se ebe o mampeni we de wan susu na wiase nso Konfoboni a watina yarefo homa konfopa beto no ye nyina yipamu omampanyin na ado wanya hwe kurampo no woko no Ghana ye GDP na ejina ho hamuchichemu ensia eso ani afie krayo ehuru kosoro hamuchichemu enna ye tiripɔ num emfidijuma ehuru kosoro hamuchichemu enkono atiripɔ enwotwe na omampanyin na ado aye we nyina na wo ba na wo beka se economy a wo beto ye na nya economy pa na edin pa e na wo pe.
You can't choose to say anything at all. 2016, I mean, God being so good, it is the same present president that handed over Ghana to His Excellency former President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. GDP, as my brother said, just to re-emphasize, was 3.4. Mr. Speaker, we left over 6%, almost twice. Mr. Speaker, three most important secondary macro indicators all over the world in assessing any economy. Number one, is the mainstay of the economy. In Ghana here, it's agriculture. They left 2.7. We left 4.5. Then you come to industry. It's very unfortunate that my senior, respectable MP, Honorable Haruna, he made a statement that NPP government destroyed the private sector. I stand to be corrected. Private sector is the key and definitional element of dealing with any industry in the world. They left industrial growth of 4.3. We left 8.9, almost twice. Mr. Speaker, then you come to services. They left 2.8. We left 5%. Mr. Speaker, then you talk about the fiscal space in terms of consolidation to show whether your economy has a future, is strong or not. They left a negative figure. We left a positive figure.
Na enwachire no na Dr. Stephen Amua was idea piece to say eba eka Ghana ye boro ye de a ene nyame anim nokre nokro kana no pebedo nyimire no wa free eno de aban na ansa na mbo no homoden sa na se no kra no free ba bi free COVID-19 e beti bayira homamu na ma bayira ba kese eno ne ma Ghana ye bo kasa na nye sa na nka aban ne sha ase na COVID-19 ba na Ghana nyina di adanse ye sa aban na MPP na je se omototo ne mayi na no mpodo de to nchen a wo de MPP gina ho na wo de NDC gina ho na ye se amonyoko mienu yi de hin wo tim to Ghana sika nsebe ye pa obi ade ho no wo be ye NDC da MPP.
The kind of picture we paint to this generation and the world. Mr. Speaker, all the poor policies, both in kind and cash, we let those that were performing efficiently and effectively well, including PSH, paying billions every month. Mr. Speaker, I want to come back to this whole issue about debt. Yes, we left a little over 70% debt to GDP. That is not too good, yes. But Mr. Speaker, we need to contextualize this and explain it well. I want any professor in the world and in Ghana here swear with Quran and Bible and say what I'm saying is a lie. Because we are tired of misinformation. Mr. Speaker, when in the history of this country, where Ghanaians, public and civil service workers, were asked to stay home but they were paid, have we forgotten so soon? They went through a period of some months of not working, but they were paid. All of them in this country. Even after that, they ran shift for over 11 months. 10 will go 2 weeks, another 10 will go 2 weeks, and they were paying them. Mr. Speaker, private sector sacked over 40,000 people in this country, paying corporate taxes. We ran revenue shortfalls of 12 billion in this country.
Dr. Stephen Amua Stika, Nene Ena Echegu Ye, William Gontu. Eni Manola Koli ena odi amanubuyi ebesomo ye.
And this year, by better my Ghana, Benya Cassian Sono, Assemble catch the Ghana for a tall Ghana for some par ye, a young Kukon Ketenkete project in Yakase, Wabu Odama, Wabuan Hoda, and Kukobu and Wabobo. And to watch chance and yet Tibia Ghana by Freddy Nay, Archland the semi parcho and Kukon Ketenketeno, a Brenner Drus into dear Brana Bajodia, and Tia Chayamu dear Bebrena Wapa, na chair, Edema Parliamentary Select Committee Food a Greek, and office Cocoa First, Honorable Dr. Godfrey. Jesau wapanidia tuja achechim say wabese 1 year industry players na face policy makers ese Ghana buying policy kase ne esine ni hwu pa ne se nkokon ketenkete no yenyina yentimi emu echidom wasi ansa na ban wade ba no wadi kan esinkonya adwenjene ho se krom ha yetie yesode a enye sika pempem opipi hu ha ne yekukuru yade kwa amanfo amaso nkokɔ ene kosua se ya ne akradia ba sa nkokon ketenkete project ekoso my Ghana mu a enu se gaganto lady nkame pon kase ebo na makọ ebia nkokobuo bi amabobo na eja media so media hyehye so entu bo se ayire so aboso miensa no na sadata aba menchen gaga me pa akokọ ato afikosua na sifo wo bia timi betobi wo menchen eba ne sa emebunu kura na wo mwawie hia pon ya wonye dwuma anya no wo betimi anya bia ye na afi wo mo hwede a unemployment association sa ko nyina ye begu no opani de sansem we nyina kotuja ewo 2025 International Women's Day Jumedia agrafo ahyehye wase ye betimi apem akoye nim so wo man na afeso ye focus petimi agina nkokon ketenkete project no so a ewo se sa amanyosem mu me free ha sei me party ni we nya me party ni obi party na dia bantimi mu echidom no wase amoa yen hwe beyond that sane be ya ye sika sem fa payment to ye no e betimi afa ne ntuma pa adiefra wa kyerɛkyerɛ mu ensem pina dia ka ho.
Ready to work with you. You already have a network of MPs that are interested in supporting the food system transformation agenda. So allow us to work with you. Let us be your champions. Let us be your voices. Let us help you in putting in place legislative arrangements that can smoothen some of the operational difficulties that we see in our women entrepreneurs and feed industry program. Then he mentioned to wait chicks layers. That these 55,000 households are supposed to benefit this year from the Kitty program. It's clearly impactful. It's clearly inclusive. And so I'd like to invite you.
Ebusuya enia yekotie wono chairman Edema Parliamentary Select Committee ewo food agric na afeso cocoa affairs wo my Ghana mu Honorable Dr. Godfrey Jesau Nesam Aneno na senior women and youth ewo trade expert mu African Continental Free Trade Area Gonaya Monai Setora wono so kasaye ne dia wodi to dwane sem pempemu a ya na esidwadie no ewo se yifri honom.
But if I'm a farmer and I want to buy plantain from a Ghanaian woman, there's a lot of complex procedures and requirements, even custom duties that impede me to buy plantain and even sell it in Botswana, because I know I'll not be the only person who loves plantain. To make sure that African state parties trade among each other at ease and at less cost, so that we can economically integrate Africa as well. Today I wish to highlight several key domains in which we have made noteworthy progress under the agreement, as well as, of course, perhaps, since the partner side in the room, challenges that we can put heads or actually efforts together.
Ushia enia yekotie wono senior women and youth trade expert at African Continental Free Trade Area Gonaya Monai Setora Nensam Anano enti yenua bema Prince Bafo Asamoah kokote papebi en woto ne boase a sane ansam ne sitie no wakyerɛkyerɛ mu kama na wode amayen.
Professor John Gachi openyini abankuntabu a wabe wo mu yepopa na bojokoro so aban na tie so nsa sa adwen kwampo befa so na niam ani betumi adane ye ewo my Ghana mu no prof oka ho bi na openyini na wakasa wo premto breka se bo so enne woni ma me bia makwa afo na wo kirim se so man ne beti afira dumu akwa pie mu ewa dumu afoto ahodo o man ne wo na ebo man na chidom na wo se etimi bobo dodo na etimi ka ho na enkonko basa biri bia Ghana ebekwa ho kyereka kra mu no na ya fa ya kura to ensem la lasula la IMF yakobo mo pona kwaji sika ye be ye de beti gatem Prof Chirem say ya na foto ahodo ne ambodo na fa nka ho ma na mbo my Ghana chidom we ne ye bekoso asresa was so stabilization fund now heritage fund e boa Ghana pa heritage fund so eno so gina baabi a eno so ebo my Ghana chidom na ebe ya nkasa foto ahodo ye ma ban no ana so oban bia ba onfa ne san konko bom sa akeke ye nja na foto ne ntimi nyine ndore se na ebe ne koduru bire bi na se Ghana wa hu chirem ne ye kɔ hɔ no mo ebe nya hodaso ese na efata.
The Heritage Fund, we are not supposed to touch it, but in 2026, by the law, we can use the accrued interest of the Heritage Fund, but not the principals into the Heritage Fund. So these are examples of buffers that we have built for the economy, but they are not enough. We need to expand that buffer, and we need to ensure that we service some of the buffers that we have created, so that in times of trouble we fall on them. Because we don't have those buffers to fall on in times of trouble, then we are quick to go to the IMF to come and save us.
Na enwachire no na Professor John Gachi was idea piece say my bia ye mana ye ya adenti na Ghana ye nso ye a entumi nye yi ne aka nyina ne se mpenifu a o man no ye ditumi ahye won sa se won hwe no won tenetene o man no toto ne ama yi no obehye won ho so sikadie mu no wo hye won ho so no ye ntoto ye yi a se ne esitie bia no aho kire ta ba o man so ama ye dwane to IMF kopa ebosia no ye betima di sunkunim.
Our dependence on the IMF or not depends first of all on good economic governance. If we are able to manage the economy very well, then we are able to control the dissipation that goes on within the circles of procurement, and we are also able to tame corruption, and we create the buffers, then we are sure to be protected at any time. Then if we have challenges, we may not be going to the IMF. So it is not enough to say that we will not go to the IMF. Going to the IMF or not going to the IMF, it purely depends on how we manage the economy and whether we are able to secure the buffers for the economy for utilization during times of difficulties.
Professor John Gachi openyiri ya banku ntabu a wabe wo mu ye papa nene ena etwagu ya nsem nyina no de tudwa wo prem to breka se boso Jojo say ena oboabo amanbo ya no edi edan ye
ya to akase boy so ya de ani kiremu ewo ensemfoforo mu pani kwankyerefo ya wo hwe kire wa bedweku a wo hwe o my Ghana apomode wonsem eye Professor Samuel Kaba na wakasa kire se ha adwene papa pasa sisi ya de Ghana ha sei yade bi atweneti amanfo ani hye dan kɔ ho eye hepatitis yade bi titiw ene etifido mantemu Professor Kaba etwa ne nkasa mu wode atodwa wo kire se bebre na anam honom ewe etifido mantemu a wo ka kire ne se hepatitis yade wanya bia anhwe ya ne wabɔ so sebe apee enhwe yade no ebi hye ne botom papa na wode sansam wagina atodwa bra woto ne bo asese wo ye nkasa ho dwumedie ne nkyerɛkyerɛ dia ma Ghana fo ewo kolebu abanya sabia won krapomponi mantem titiw ene yen ensentrofo wo kire se yade no kwan ye fa so ebeni afa so transmission se ne sitie kwan betimi afa so betimi aboye ho ban ne nyina da wo kire ye na prof ato so se ya ne ha adwene sanso obi wo ho anam wo nam wo nhyɛ de nim ese yade ne bi wo ne ho ntino wonam ho anu oguso a wo kyeko wo hia asemesi ane wo de ama no emfifire kura ne wo teka mu atwe ho asem ntwe me ho wo behwa na wo nsa ka wo chefa donation udufia ne wo kya ne se wholesale price ya wo de mebusuafo na no no wo se yade bi ha adwene na mom bra no wo te honom na wa abɔwrem wa yaresabia se ya hwehwɛ ni pedue mu ye hu se bia traces kakra bi asase a eba eno sa na entempa so yetimi hyew na afi yetimi agye won kwade esi honom na ekoba nsa wo tena se akopem se bebie du no ano aye de na de kwade a wo se eba ne se be ha adwene pa prof nsam ni afutuo ne bi ni.
One of the things we do have in Ghana has to do, it's a challenge, has to do with hepatitis in its various forms, and especially up north, where the disease burden is very high in the northern regions. Unfortunately, many people don't even know that they have it. By the time they get to know, it's too late, they are almost dying, or it becomes too expensive to have a treatment, very expensive. Let everybody know. Engage the media to also support us to disseminate this information. Get it. So we want to get 80% for a given time or 90% for a given time and get 80% of them treated. If we achieve that, then we'll mop up the rest of the percentage that we need.
Professor Kaba wadama sisi yade baako ete Ghana for so eye sebe se wuja onan na wo fe yade wati mu asem wana afa meningitis so ho asem etisen me pato yetiu.
Yeah, so we are doing very great when it comes to the cholera because right now for the past 3 weeks we don't have any death. We've been able to get almost 100% because 99% of vaccination. And when we are now doing the survey to confirm it, and I'm sure that we've even covered 100% of the population that we targeted. And same with meningitis. So far, as you know, we don't have any deaths and we don't have any situation. And the WHO team evaluated us successfully. I'm working into a meeting to get to be debriefed on the whole exercise that happened. They met with our specialists and then our experts who came to support us. So we also prepared towards that.
Enya yokoti epeni kwanchirefo ya wo hwetire wa bejoko ya wo mo show my God ya pomode ho sem Professor Samuel Kaba ne sem ene Prince Bafo Asamoah ena afesisika ayim ena sem goto obuase a wodi evedan yen
Ekobia wondin and World Resources Institute de kuye twanitia from WRO na womotaye ene say abibire mu nyina man hodo a wonkwa ebritu wantima mbo ho ban wo gya mu nua nyina na obeboa na wase duodie nua se na ebe na ne ewiem bebre di chimhia na che se ewiem aye hyehyehye no ebitima boa na yatumi adi sunkunim ne kuwa ba bepie mu ewo ma ga ne mo apoe mantem kra fredi chebi mu akopa adwumadie ho ntoma ye frɛ no restore local na dwumadie yase no ene wo kyehene osaje form wati ofori panyini na ede nanim onyam kwa kopie mu ewo ase bi na ne ka sem na wo kyem sade bakwa di o ma ga ne nya pa na kwa betu ahodo egu no eye fuma gudie tu enam kwa paso ye frɛ no galamsey na woso hwe woso afo da so ye hwe asase na obade ne patwe ho hia so anno uruminafo ye malala makofi bo panyini de hye egu apono so a ode be sore etia galamsey kun no oche hini kirem se sansese no ofo asopopa na empempi na mafo tabo na nanom so bo se na nate ho behwe na nate se ne fitire pe na nipa bi tu fuma gudie ho no na ntimi nka ho ye yemfa ho ene oche hini kirem se obi ba beto fuma gudie a ode krata afiri nkran na eba aban na made kwa so metu efuma gudie no ono no wote ho no be ye den no aga se wompene ema nipa no fuma gudie eba sei no ena nka aban epo ne tumi ho kakra de ama na nanom se na nanom yi so obi ba so beto fuma gudie a ye sei anasa yesei a nko so betima sore de aboa sa aban ne nye sa de na nanom ne akekere won sa de gu wombo ontimi nya hwe emfa fuma gudie tuo no enam kwampa so no ho woche hene sa de tudwa biem se nka ne abe wotwa mbu no enchese ya hodo digu apono so yes odo be sore de tiafo magudie tu enam kwampa so no anwie peyo ene o mampanyini kra de ne presidency to so nanso so ekwawie tie na galamsey na afi krampo na Ghana fo hye mu kena nanso ogide se aban a wabai die obetimi ne hye pagu apono so fo magudie tu a enam kwampa so no obetimi edi sunkunim.
When you even have a task force to stop them, somebody will tell you, you have no right to form a task force to protect your own forest. I am called the landlord of Achimabuakwa, but I have no power to work underneath my land. So you may, in your mind, not even have a right to protect what is in your land. And sometimes we are helpless. I'm saying this with pain, that we have no resource, we have no coercive force to stop these illegal miners who are destroying our land and water body on a daily basis, midnight. And then somebody will have the audacity to blame the chiefs. Some chiefs may be doing what they're doing. I'm not holding brief for them. But to stop this, we need more than our presence. We need more than me being elevated here to sit here and talking to you. As we speak, they are doing it right now. So the effort that we are coming to do will be effortless, will not benefit us if we don't stop this.
And what you know, and our Eric Latte, opening or a landscape manager at the World Resources Institute, the Kuno, and also Cassia Chilim say, baby me and son, and you could do any share. As I see, and you quasi a yoke was so, now so your crowd was what say assassin. Baby, and you quasi a bunya, and I'm saying what was only a bunya, they are say assassin. Baby, a two from a good year assassin, baby me and saying, and would do any a baby see, no dear Riano, at their boy minor.
Yeah, adoptive process be. Yeah, selective bia. Yeah, best opportunity champions no ma yeah jumano. Yeah, selective bia potty be. Yeah, Tunisian says sub landscapes. In the side bia no selection was informed by several criteria. Yeah, she nyama miensa. Yeah, she say inuaduano. Fasodia say nyafri ho aduane. Yeah, she ensuo ena ne attract biodiversity. The biodiversity no emo bi wo ho a and I say in Rebio ha, here say a bohubine, a freebie say endangered species, and I say threatened species.
Obenyanene Echagu ye Eura Eric Latte, where landscape manager at the World Resources Institute, the Kuno. Na nekase echire no Penina were director of restoration, food, land and water. Edema yukui share the width. One so kasa na wo chire mi say se nipa dasa adasa. Yetima nya tumi etima say kwa ibretu ne nsase de a ede na sa tumi kro na yebetimi asa da yen hihye yi ama asase asea yi. Enti wo bayi wo sere Ghana for sere mabunu. Sie nyina no yemwa na ofuru duapan so ne yepia no na ensase no yenhwe ensanye yebiem na asase ne yeyi a adasa. Yeso betena se ne yefili.
This is not just about restoring land. We are planting the seeds for a new restoration economy. An economy that creates jobs, builds wealth, and respects the natural environment. An economy that values the natural resources and puts people and nature at the center of prosperity. This new restoration economy rewards those who regenerate the earth rather than those who exploit it. It empowers local communities, women, young people to lead the way in this emerging restoration movement. So with Restore Local, we're not waiting for change to come from somewhere else. We're creating a future right here, right now in Ghana.
Penyanene Echagu ye send with director of restoration, food, land and water Edema World Resources Institute the Kuno Nene ena Echagu ye.
Penny kwanchirafo ya wada aposifo ano wasantemmantemu eye DCOP mano taikujo na wedie eye desrede ena wade to Ghana fo nyina nim se aposifo adwuma no wo monko antimenye debia kopiemo police station na obe won atwerabo ho bagayam. The police is your friend. Nanso ye pie ya the police is your friend ye mfa nyasem BBC power ye mpesua no so wo hwa abrantie sania wonam ho no mababa we sania wo ye ne nioma sifa otim se wedie wonya boni a wobedi enso enam se wusura posifo na wusuro se okoka ye beyi wamanti no na asam na ehyew motuo mu se ya wo se wonka da na posifo bre wo dwumedie mu kro no botimi koso wani tua se asemesi beyi en wodi sa bone no enso wodi o se wonka da ya posifo beyi wama wei ena posipeni wogusua wotu yefo ese ebra so passe pese mra ye adwuma dia yemwa posifo dwumedie ahodo bi a wodi mu wa wani tua mpotam a wote wo bi da suba bi di nipa utimi se minimum adwuma wo ye nanso anopa bia me hia no pa wo fie edu anadwo a na wayira obetimi ahwehwem na afi wetimi abo aposifo amane wade sansem wo gina to dwabra na wo ye amamra ni amane police station fofra yesi wa amampe ye no ewo asantemantem ye demu na ye de ahye aposifo ensa ohene yire frema kodua ekonadu ya wonya ne ba bi ko wanua fikro no mu na sanya woni honti ena mpanifo kire si yesi na fe yede ahyene nuonyam this year Peter Kujo esrese nananom ene omanfo mo krom honom momo aposifo ewo dwumedi ahodo ogusha wodi mu afi so aposifo ni bebite nti wedie wo mu hia mu apa
yen police adwuma ye ade ba ko o mu ni se ya yentimi nya bibia emprepe no ye hia support from the public and the community ya bai say ye bebo mo ho ban ye jidi say ye benya mu support in all areas for effective community collaboration bema amampe afani tuma pa efra. We also would like to admonish the police personnel na omeye adwuma wa say omo say omo ba besum enye say omo ba ya na omo ba dane omo ahemfo ewo kromemfo no esu de ebe hia no say omesum with akumapa and make sure that they listen to the public, ensure that Hiansem in terms of security will be taken on board to ensure that this community becomes safe and that we police the community and we meet aspirations,
Ania yokoti peni kwanchefo ya wada aposifo anu wasantemmantemu DCOP Emmanuel Takujo nsem enono na yewura kasa wie na afi wahini a wowo adanwoma so na 90 amwa peni ya otosomienu kasa no wose wasane manfo ye pa wo amampe sesisi ani mpuntuo die ya na ho hia na wan support na wobesida ye nti wedie eya desede a wode to nanimu
de esa ne se obi amfa na ho de ntachi na enye kama ukostuma e will be say reward and it will be say punishment. We are there, the pa, na ya bo abaso. No more idea, Sebi Enya, near Chonson. Won't chile of my emanum conkai, Abera who say no more in a boom. Intine, now hear my man, ne die son, and a juniper, no man crew. So Obama Fatu Siaba, now Boma Kuno, a conkai. saa so na woni pa bone for se biso yede ewum ene mo tu saa na mo we nyina
na nanti amwa pani ye otoso mienu ohene kese ewo adahomase eno ewo asantemantemu otobrosie kojo buodu eno de sansem wade emane yen
Dr. Isaac Brako openyini ochire amanyosem ewo University of Education mu na premto braka se boso na Dr. Isaac Brako wone ma mebia makwafo etwetwe nkomo na ne ka se no na wo tirem se katase se dwirim kro no ane ene Ghana atena ma mabrumpo asore na odi hu nkomo bi no ehya nyene sana mpenufo sisa akom ya dada enye ne ehya na be konfano chibde so na ehya ne sabe pe na katase dwirim no kro no so te ehya achepo pa na Ghana ba mpenye odi kan osaje fo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah bresumpo no na ti se openyini okon katase dwirim no kro no osu otumire no wa kiresiri osaje fo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah bresu ne wo soafo bi a woda enkrato ena nyuma so ena no na ne din ena orumnyamfo Joseph Adam Brima openyini koje ademude efi American construction firm bi nchen wa bere be ye deja o my Ghana mu no ena osaje fo bisa ne se orumnyamfo matese wa koje ademude eye no kure na ogina hode ne se fo ne tiri ho me ma me se sa ena osaje fo gini tumi firi ne se nti se wo hu ba bia kata se dwiri me sha se firi ye ewo nipa di ye ne mu na so akame akwase ase yen ya bibifo no ye de ya hyeda aboni duku ena ye hye hu kotu ena chese oko school kura na onim chiro de a ena okrampo de no na ya brofilize ne sa wona ma na wakunkun esanse wa bokro no na aye kama sa ne de nam kurum ha enti Dr. Isaac Brako tiremu se kata hye ne sase enye ne achepopa
Yenimsa katasene proye edi yenyapa efibra yenyapa hundi besine yewura omanpenida da Kwame Nkrumah anso sa ade yesu ebra 1952 of form the first cabinet 1951 na ye before enwotwe na abrofo ano mo ye ex official ministers miensa zomye dubaako afidi achipe the minister of communication and works near friend Joseph Adam Brima okoji ademudie efi American construction firm Feno Mejias Akso Kazajan enti Kwame tii saa die we no ema ofreno wo ekuo bi anim ema omototo na no na abono na chese krache no wakoji ademudie a eye 2,000 pounds sterling enti Kwame wa fa nche no kura oyi ledi ofi na ban mu
na enu akire no na Dr. Isaac Brako o chem se ne yedisu aho nsem no sa ye papa bi a aseda no ye fa ma ye kan Ghana ba panini osaje fo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah wosenhye ye pa odi gu apono so disua fam no na ne Ghana ye twa so abai
yeba homesua mu a kwasi broni ekono na afena ni ebo university ba ko pe 1948 and one tie the University College of the Gold Coast and the University of Ghana Legon ami di mienu eba be kan ho Kumasi University College of Art Science and Technology and the feno Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and the University College of Cape Coast University of Cape Coast enei odi mienu be kan ba ko no ho amia ebenya amiensa primary schools ahodo die what 3,083 awo 1951 obedi ade no opeje mu de ko 8,144 primary schools etu be fafie bia mu na kwada kenkan a boy a girl senya na kwada di kan ko pa o mekotie a boy a girl.
Dr. Isaac Brako or your political science lecturer University of Education and what this answer we to Japan to Brakasia Boso George say and na oboabo man we ano
ya pem de ni akyeremu ewo ensamfoforo emuanrada na Ghana for ye chef akese pa for fida no na emu de sanse ye kai to nyom 6th of March 1957 Ghana Independence Day na emu de na emebu no to nyom na bebia ye kra behwe pa ye abele na ode beka ho no wanka kra de na kyese nyom no kra wanto na saa bremu na ye adwendwene se kwan ben so no my Ghana timemufo no ye betimi asesa ya dwene na afa ya pem ade akọ yenim coordinating director ewo Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly Francis Dark wono say general minister anemu wasantemantemo and wodi atu dwa kire se Ghana for ebraso se nyina ye ka ye ho abom se boa ba ko ade na yenye dwuma yemfa botaye bi mpempem bi go bi yemfa se yenim na yenye dwuma enko ho wasisisi ane say bebia Ghana for ye betimi ama ya dwene akọ ho ne se emebunu dodo na ye betimi ahye wo mo den na afeso wo mu du amanfo aman so se ya eba na se ye pre bibi hu abon sampa Ghana mebuno yeso ye gina ina so enwuma eni o my Ghana mu na afeso empuntuo ho nsem nyina ye nhwe ho asem yenka na ye rada ko ato so a kire sade ba ko a etete wo my Ghana ye pa eye ne yefre ne katase hye ne pro ye adwurumudie kankan ya adokura amanfo bi wo krom ase na ye wo online institutions a ye wo mo senka wo mo nhwe nkuntia na nso asa institution ahode bi anim to obesre se sa institution ye so wo mo den na wo mo ye adwuma nkoba ne se we papa nie we maame ne asemesi ntinipa no we wie sika bo Ghana kro no kra na ye gya ne se wonko ye rada ko kire se illegal mining ya de bi a ese yensa ase papa enu nti Ghana for yen hwe ho asem enka na adwumedie no wo mo hye ho fam e wo Prempe Assembly Hall ye no wo kumase ense wo de atodwane.
The essence of anniversary celebration like this is to remind ourselves of the past, take stock of the present, and strategize for the years ahead. It is in the same spirit that this year's celebration is not the usual large-scale celebration, but a scale back that aligns with the government's strategy to reduce costs while maintaining the significance of the event. Review is assessing our present. After 68 years of independence, we must critically examine where we stand today. We have made significant strides in education, technology, healthcare, and infrastructure. Ghana continues to be a beacon of democracy in Africa, with 4 peaceful transfers of power in our land.
Ebusuani Ekote wano ye coordinating director with Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. Yewura Francis Dako na wojina asante mantem so afwa nemu and wode sansem we wode atudwa. Ye nua bema Samuel Aguri no wode sansem we tonkrama yen ewo asante mantemu.
Awie ebejina asame amane boy so na ya homeka sebo no so ye twe ho abasisi a.
Peace FM.
Happy delightful June. Swachulala, chichi soso. Afrana pa. Epe pashu breakfast and was in woman. Don't happy delightful juice against with toast, cereal, and even them cool. And we ate. You mean a bread and fifi. The most fridge man. Happy delightful juice. One of what? And you be here. Happy medical relaxing way. Swano when you're. Let's say what a tremor. Happy delightful juice. Of an appear bring you all day long. One fruit juice. I'm happy delighted. One different flavors, different size. You number 1 liter. Number from NG 150 and 250 ml.
Ebenya healthy life shows on your supermarket.
Happy delightful juice, loaded with taste.
Listen, so what kind of move to smoother on them engine oil? It's a bogumo engine oil. On your Valvoline. Listen,
Valvoline lubricant. And I'm used to Valvoline. Chai, Chese. Who use Valvoline lubricant? No emission.
Valvoline oil. On my car, machinery, and equipment to move smooth. No friction. No, you fit your engine and winter with that. No wear and tear. Valvoline oil, Abatalia. Obamacana wants him to work with you. Double movement desire smooth. The engine is a bit cherry. What on Valvoline oil? Baby, what on oil beer? I can do a brain main office. Then you gonna Telecom University opposite. Yep, and CBG Bank. Fred 030-225-7633. And now the authorized dealer. PSD Plus 020-128-9987. Valvoline, the original engine oil since 1866. Peace FM.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knobs.
Awie kasiabo no SC akenkan for ye me Sadat Mohammed Mene
Gargantuan lady ohine wa kase bowa hene
na madwenkyere bia mode ba kasiabo no so ene ye de to aso e de amamo na kwa mo abo ate na Blekuma Central wo de ena me di efrasa adwenkyere na ba no edo so popa enu ntire bi ba no na ebi kɔ enu ntire mantima kan wo de ana wo de akyere ba mebo me homode na ne abegum nyina no makenkan e de efiri hɔ no mo na Daniel Kwaku ni patete so na etwa mu saa an o ende na mintimi enkenkan